Good morning and welcome to That's My Farm. I'm Katie Sawyer here at Tiffany Cattle Company with Shawn and Shane Tiffany. We're outside Herington, Kansas today to talk to them about their feedlot, their farming operations, and the marketing of their cattle. So stay with us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. I'm here with Shawn and Shane Tiffany at the Tiffany Cattle Company outside Herington. Guys, will you guys tell a bit about yourselves, talk about your history in terms of the agricultural world, and then talk about the history of the feedlot here, because it has a unique history and background itself.
The facility that we're on is actually fairly unique. There's a lot of history with this particular property. We're actually standing on an old Army Air Corps bomber base that was built during World War II. There's quite a few of these facilities throughout the state, but the unique thing about this one is the fact that this was actually a processing facility. So those bomber crews would train at other facilities, and then as they went to the European or the Asian theater, they would process through here, and you know, a great deal of history with this particular facility. And
Shane, talk to us about your guys' history and how you got into this.
As far as Shawn and my personal history, and I guess our family's history with this particular facility, it started in 1988. Our dad managed the yard from 1988 to 2002. So Shawn and I literally grew up on this particular facility. At that point in time, our family had no ownership. Shawn and I both went and judged livestock for Butler County, and then transferred to K-State and judged livestock and horses for them. And then we started out in the industry. I was in the feedlot sector and Shawn was in the cow-calf sector early on. And then the owner, Doug Lau, it was Black Diamond at that point in time, contacted us in the fall of 2007 and asked us if we would consider coming back and purchasing the feedlot from him. And at that point in time, we did. December 1 of 2007 is when Shawn and I took over ownership of what is now Tiffany Cattle Company.
And what has it been like working together, and what kind of roles have you each taken on?
Well, it's been very unique working as brothers, and you know, family operations have their own unique set of challenges, but they also have their unique positives as well. And with our different backgrounds in, you know, our educational paths were virtually identical, but as we started our careers, we were in separate segments of the cattle industry, and so we both learned different things that have suited us for our individual roles within this business, and really have made us an asset to not only our company, but to each other as well.
We don't have titles here, but if we did, I would tend to be more towards the business manager, where Shawn would be the operations manager. I deal with the customers and the marketing and purchasing of the cattle, where Shawn handles the nutrition side and all of the farming side of our operation, and he largely is responsible for almost the entire crew too. So we have clearly defined responsibilities, and it just works. I'm thankful that there's two of us.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, and stay tuned for more on That's My Farm.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
The producer-funded Kansas Wheat Innovation Center was built to get improved varieties into the hands of farmers faster. Kansas Wheat, farmers advancing their future through wheat genetics research.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome. Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. I'm Katie Sawyer here with Shane Tiffany at Tiffany Cattle Company outside Herington. You guys are custom cattle feeders, so talk to me what that means for your customer service and the marketing end of this business.
Well, when we say that we're a custom feedlot, what that means is that 100% of the cattle that we feed and take care of are customer owned. Shawn and I don't own any of them. We just provide a service. In that service, we do everything from purchasing the cattle for some of our investment customers, and then we market all of them. We're responsible for them for the whole time that they're here. The breakdown of our business is probably about 60% would be cattle feeders, and that's just what they do as part of their operations at home. 30% would be cow-calf owners that retain ownership of their calves from birth all the way to they go to the packing house. And then about 10% of our operation would be investment customers that might be a stockbroker in Chicago to a school teacher in Georgia. That this is just part of their portfolio that we manage for them. As far as the marketing, you know, today's cattle feeding business is all about having market access, and what we've really tried to position ourselves as is we get to feed above average cattle, and so in order to have that right and that opportunity, we need to be able to generate above average prices for those above average cattle. We do that through a number of different marketing agreements and associations with different companies. We're largely a U.S. premium beef feedlot, and the majority of our cattle would go there to Liberal and be marketed through that particular program. But we also have a lot of our black-hided cattle, things of that nature, go to Creekstone in Arkansas, Ark City and southern Kansas, and then we also market some of our cattle through Nebraska Beef in Omaha.
You guys sound like you really keep the customer in mind in what you're doing, and so that plays right into your marketing tactics as well. As the markets change, what do you guys plan to do to keep up with the changing market and changing demands?
Well, communication, like any other industry, is key to our business here. We're dealing with so much money anymore as the price of cattle has increased. We're talking literally multi-million-dollar investments for a large percentage of our customers. Because of that, they just want to be communicated with. What's going on? How's the weather affecting the cattle? What's the changes in the market price-wise? How are they feeding? You know, how's the health of the cattle? And so a large percentage of my job here at the feedlot is just spent time on the phone communicating with those particular customers.
Great. And when we come back, more from Tiffany Cattle Company.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
Fall is a great time to plant trees, shrubs, and perennials. Root development this fall means more growth with less watering next year. For faster root growth, always use Fertilome Root Stimulator. It is the only stimulator which contains IBA rooting hormone. Use Fertilome tree and shrub food after the plant has been planted for a month.
Save 25% now on Jackson's homegrown hardy perennials. Let Jackson's friendly staff help you select the best plants for your landscape.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
National Bank Ag Professional. You'll be in good company. They'll help you track expense lines, manage variable input costs, assess ground agreements, pick a crop protection plan. These times demand ag professionals. Central National Bank. You could profit from what they know. Ag operations run better on Central Time.
Central National Bank. Money for life.
Member FDIC in your hometown since 1884.
Hey folks, Dr. Dan from Doc Talk. If you miss us on Monday morning, you can join us at 6:30 a.m. every Sunday morning on RFD TV. Doc Talk has a national following. We're sure glad that you joined us on Mondays, but if you miss us and you want to catch us out on a Sunday morning, get up at 6:30 a.m. and we'll be right there, RFD TV, 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I'll see you down the road.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. I'm Katie Sawyer here at Tiffany Cattle Company outside Herington, Kansas with Shawn Tiffany. Shawn, you're in charge of the more nutritional component of the business, so talk to me about what you guys do.
Well, our business is actually comprised of more than just what we do here in the feedlot. We have an extensive farming operation. We hay a great deal and utilize a lot of byproducts from our farming operation through roughage sources like hay. And then we also do a great deal of custom grazing here in the Flint Hills. These particular calves that we're standing next to have been here at the feedlot for about 2 weeks, but they've actually been in our care since April, and we've just been taking care of them out grazing native Flint Hills pastures. And so, you know, that's a big part of the feedlot industry in the state of Kansas. Now, as far as once these animals get here, they are on as an intensive managed plan of nutrition as any livestock are. I mean, we've got a consulting nutritionist that is here balancing our diets for protein, for energy, fat, and to where these cattle are just it's extremely healthy. Our diets are comprised of, you know, all sorts of farm-raised products, but we also use a great deal of distillers, which is a byproduct of the ethanol industry. And so one of the assets of a feedlot is they really utilize byproducts that without a concentrated area of cattle are hard to utilize based off of a shelf life or even marketability from other industries. And one of the things that I do, the first thing every morning, is I read bunks when I get here. And when I talk about reading bunks, what that means is I go around in the pickup and I'm inspecting every bunk to see how the cattle consumed the previous day's feed, whether they didn't eat it all or you know, they slicked it up. And you've got to be very mindful of weather events and where the cattle are in their plan of nutrition or their growth stage, and manage those accordingly to where they're as healthy as they can possibly be.
Now, you talked about you guys being able to use different components of feedstocks. The drought has affected everyone across Kansas, and I'm sure yourselves included. What have you guys done to respond to the drought, which I'm sure has affected your feed sources? Well, the drought has actually created some unique opportunities. There's as much opportunity to be had in bad times as there are good times, and so it's forced us to look at other avenues for feed provision, such as we do a lot of cover crop grazing now, and that was largely due to the drought and trying to find ways to graze cattle during times of the year in the Flint Hills that is not typical. And so what we found with that is it's not only great for staging the cattle for our customers and for the feedlot, but it also adds a great deal of advantage and soil health to our farming operation as well. Sounds like you guys really keep nutrition at the forefront of everything you guys do here. All of our decisions are based off of what's best for the cattle. Ultimately, our customers and our industry really need to make the transition from producing cattle to producing beef, because this is a product that's going to end up on somebody's plate, and we need to raise that with as much integrity and thought as we possibly can.
not just for the customer, but also for our environment. Shane and I have 7 children between the two of us, and if we don't take care of this facility and the ground that we manage right now, there won't be anything left for them to step into when they become adults.
Stay with us. More from Tiffany Cattle Company on That's My Farm.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
The producer-funded Kansas Wheat Innovation Center was built to get improved varieties into the hands of farmers faster. Kansas Wheat, farmers advancing their future through wheat genetics research.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, it's Dr. Dan from Doc Talk and Ag AM in Kansas, and That's My Farm. Be sure to stop in and join us at the Kansas State Fair. We're going to be down there, we're going to be walking around, we're going to be in the birthing center. Join us, come say hi, we can't wait to see you.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We're having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities, big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. I'm Katie Sawyer here with Shawn Tiffany with Tiffany Cattle Company outside of Herington, Kansas. As you can see, we've moved to the farm portion, the crop portion of their farm. And tell me a little bit about what you guys do in terms of raising your own crops.
Well, we raise primarily corn and wheat, and then a lot of different forage crops. What we're harvesting here today is actually silage. This is corn silage, and we'll utilize all of this to balance the diet for the cattle and provide a roughage source. And we farm quite a bit of silage. Compared to some of the other crops grown in the state of Kansas, it's not necessarily unique to our industry, but it is fairly unique to a lot of different farming operations.
You're full, Roger.
And you not only grow the traditional row crops, but you've gotten into some unique cover crops. Talk about that and talk about why you've gotten into that practice.
Well, this particular farm right here has been in, it'll have something growing in it virtually year round. Shortly here in the next couple of weeks, we'll be planting a cover crop here, and then around October, we'll be kicking some calves out here. We got into the cover crop, like I said, because of the drought, but what we have found is it's essential for preventing erosion during the off-season, creating more nutrient penetration into the ground, and also providing an additional feed source for the cattle. So in many ways, it's more than 1 + 1 = 2 type deal. It's one of those scenarios where there's a lot of benefits.
And bring this back around to the actual cattle feeding component of your business. How does this allow you guys to be flexible in your feeding, and what does this allow you guys to do in terms of your inputs?
Well, in a way, having grazing programs in the fall and winter time is actually kind of a supply management for the feedlot. So we can be staging cattle out here and creating cheap gain for our customers, but yet creating more business for a couple months from now. So,
and the cost control on this, is it significant since most of the inputs are grown on your farm?
Yes. That is one of our goals. We try to raise as much of the feed that we provide for our customers ourselves, because we can keep costs down, keep their costs down, and easily manage the quality of that product that way, and just provide a better and more profitable experience for our customers.
Thank you. Stay with us for more on That's My Farm.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
The producer-funded Kansas Wheat Innovation Center was built to get improved varieties into the hands of farmers faster. Kansas Wheat, farmers advancing their future through wheat genetics research.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities, big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. I'm Katie Sawyer here with Shawn and Shane Tiffany at Tiffany Cattle Company outside Herington, Kansas. Shawn and Shane, you guys have been in the business for 7 years now, so you're relative newcomers, but you already have the next generation around. So talk to me about what the future holds. You guys are laying the groundwork for a lot of great things to come. What do you guys see and how are you guys planning for that?
Well, you just got to be flexible with markets, with changing farming practices, with various regulations, and just be forward thinking and just try to be adaptive.
We feel very fortunate, there's a lot of changes going on in agriculture right now. Largely, the population of the people that are in agriculture is getting older and older, and we choose to look at that not as something to be scared of, but as an opportunity for young people that want to live this lifestyle, want to be in the rural communities, and Shawn and I really try and make decisions based off of here, based not only what's best for here, but what's best for our surrounding areas. We're actively involved in our communities. Our children are actively involved in a lot of extracurricular activities. And because of that, we have a vested interest to see not only this operation succeed, but rural America as well.
And you guys plan on being here for years and years to come. What do you guys see as any big hurdles that you'll have to overcome in the near future?
Well, obviously ground prices and just the volatility in the markets. You have to be very intensive on your risk management, but just like Shane said, our surrounding area is very important to us. Our neighbors are important to us, our relationships and our reputation. And we like to think that this business here is not just profitable for our operation, but also our neighbors as well. We buy a lot of commodities from our neighbors and have great relationships with them.
But I sense optimism, and I sense a forward-looking business plan, and sense from you guys that you guys plan to be here and plan to raise quality beef for years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, agriculture always has been and always will be rather risky. Within that, it takes hard work and a plan and a strategy. And so we are optimistic about the future. We love what we do. It's near and dear to our hearts, and I don't think that either one of us can think of anything we'd rather be doing. So the future is bright.
Wonderful. Thank you for spending time with us, and thank you for joining us at Tiffany Cattle Company on That's My Farm. We'll see you next time.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.